What's going on, guys? Coach Kiki.
And Coach Beckett.
And we are back for another Champagne Gains with our first official guest on the podcast.
It's so exciting.
Miss Danielle Koehler. Hopefully I said your last name right.
You did.
we know her very well. I just don't know how to say her last name.
Yeah. You've seen very intimate parts of my body.
Yeah.
Yep. So Danielle competed in her very first bikini competition this past April at the Dave Lieberman Natural, Ohio. So she, I actually started working with Danielle when I moved back to Ohio. We started with lifestyle, right?
Yeah. We were strictly lifestyle for probably 6-8 months.
Yeah. And then we kind of were obviously working towards.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
There.
When I came out, when I think I first met you July 4th, at the parade.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you were talking about getting boobs and then prep after that.
Yeah.
That's when the prep plans, I feel, came to fruition.
Yeah, definitely.
Fully.
Once I decided
we're doing it.
It's time.
Yes. I mean, I think it's, I never want it to be some people go into preps and wanting it to be like a bucket list item. And I think it was really you knew you needed to step on stage. Yeah. And that's obviously has propelled, your just overall confidence and everything with going into your own coaching.
Oh yeah, definitely. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a huge catalyst. All of these things I'd always thought about doing, wanted to do, looked at other people, watched other people do. And I think in the back of my mind, I thought I'm going to do that one day, but I wasn't behaving in a way that was I'm going to get there. Right.
Yeah. So I do I always tell my clients who've, never done a bikini show, we need to start off with lifestyle and just kind of get a feeling. Get a feeling for what this lifestyle is, what it takes, following a plan, following the protocols. And then when we kind of felt that it was a good time for, okay, Danielle knows what she's doing now. And then you're getting your boobs. Okay. And then stepping.
Running a marathon.
Yeah. Timing.
That's right.
And then timing it into, going into, your very first prep. So before we go into some questions, do you want to give us just a little bit of information about, maybe what got you into your health and wellness journey and then going into, starting your first bikini prep?
Yeah. So I, mother of 3, they're all teenagers now. And my younger brother went into bodybuilding. He met Corey and Dustin and got into old school gym, started working out, got me into lifting. But I was just extremely novice. And I watched him go through this bodybuilding world under, Corey's wing back then with the other company.
Yeah. Not Max Effort Muscle, brought to you by.
So yeah, I watched him and I thought, gosh, that it looked fun and it looked like he had a great time and he was pretty successful with it. But having small kids, I just didn't really think that was going to be something that I would really do. And I stuck with old school gym, stuck with Dustin, and stuck with training and found things that realistically I could do. Right. And then Kiki comes in.
The bomb.
She's like the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah. She just busts through the doors, and so then I started digging into your world. Kind of not stalking you, but a little bit stalking you.
You can totally stalk me.
And God, I just thought, if I don't try to take advantage of this now, while I have this woman, I've got all these resources now. I have the guys, I've got the supplements, I've got the gym. Now I have, this person who's a pro. If I don't do it now, I'll never do it. Right. So, didn't really know what I was in for. And I think, our first meeting, I was sweating bullets and so nervous.
You were so cute.
Nervous.
I remember that first conversation. So it was, I don't think they even had the full podcast room and stuff ready yet. It was literally just like us in the warehouse, and you brought out this booklet and you had like a list of all of these questions.
I did.
It was like the best meeting because like I just like kind of shoot the shit with when I'm on consult calls, but you were like prepared with all of these questions. And I think that was just, it was cool to kind of see like the excitement in you and like the willingness to learn and want to learn. I love when potential clients come to me with questions, so I don't have to do all of like the talking.
Dude, people that have questions end up being the best clients. Side note.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now that I'm in that, I mean, I'm just new, right? Started coaching my first client this last June. And I think now I'm at the same mindset, right? Like I don't know all the answers, right? You know, living this lifestyle now for probably better part of 15 years. I don't know all the things. I've tried things myself. I've seen other people do things, you know, now I've accomplished a couple of things. But if you don't ask questions, I don't know what's going on. I don't, you know, I can't just give you everything. Right. So, but yeah, I'm really, really excited.
Yeah. So what, I know your prep was every prep is different for people, and there's always going to be things that kind of like get in the way, and just, you know, life in general. Gosh, you have 3 like grown children. Like us having to deal with like the schedules and everything. Like you were like almost like a straight A student in terms of like you kept good communication. You were like, okay, I have this kid's thing that I have to go to, and then I have to go here, and then I have to go here, and then I have to go here, but I'm doing this, and this, and I have this prepared, and I like always have this in my back pocket. I have the tuna pack. Like you had such a good like line of communication, and it's like I didn't have to babysit you. It was just like I gave you the plan, and you told me how you were going to, you know, execute it with all the things that you had going on.
Yeah, it was definitely I don't want to call it a struggle. It wasn't a struggle, but it was a new challenge. It was a new challenge to balance a specific routine for myself alongside the schedule that the kids had.
I could not imagine prepping with 3 teenagers, like that you have to like actually take care of. Like we get to just decide our preps. Cook food for ourselves and only ourselves. Do cardio when we want to, like train when we want to. Yikes.
It was very impressive.
Yes.
Fun. So we're going to talk about some really fun things with Danielle because I mean, just you as a person are hilarious, and just a good person to be around. And I think it's great that, you know, since you're, you know, stepping into this coaching role for yourself as well, like you've taken the time to learn from, you know, Corey and Dustin and me, you know, and just being in the prep yourself. Like you now have all of these different things that you can pull from for your clients in their own health and wellness journey. So we're going to talk about some fun things with Danielle, but first, like what since it's the Champagne Gainz podcast.
Wait, let's talk about this. Where are the questions? Okay, what is your favorite drink / cocktail?
Yeah, so maybe not a favorite, but recently I've been getting into some bourbons.
Ooh,
that's fun.
Yeah. I'm getting a little old, I think, or maybe manly. I'm not sure.
I think when like a man introduces you to bourbon, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like a good bourbon and cigar session is.
I don't know about
like
that.
Good for me now. Yeah,
I tried my first cigar yesterday.
I saw. Yeah, so proud of you. It didn't look like you inhaled either.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I really like wine. Martini's probably my favorite cocktail. Gin.
Like easy.
Yeah, crisp and clean. Extra dirty. I like it extra
dirty.
Just like Danielle.
Just like me. Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit about, your coaching, what you do maybe through actual like fitness coaching, as well as what other coaching you do. Well, that will be like the main topic for the rest of the podcast.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So we'll start with the PG stuff. Like I said, years and years ago, I had wanted to get into coaching, and I signed on for a platform and got the workbooks and, started studying, and the kids were small, and I thought this will be great. Just get into coaching. I thought I knew enough, and just never happened. So just stuck with it myself, learned under everybody else, and did some research. And then after show, and I kind of once I felt a little bit normal again, then I thought I really would love to just help other women that are like me. Maybe they don't want to do a show, right? Mm-hmm. I'm definitely not, a bikini coach now. Maybe never.
Totally okay. It's a lot to deal with.
But no, my age group, women that have juggling schedules that really just don't feel like they can work out, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I can't get up at 4:00 in the morning, or, the kids' schedules are so hard. I'm so full. I couldn't even imagine. And so I just wanted to try to help women that are very similar to me find a passion for exercising and just movement in general. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of my coaching is more geared towards, it's maybe not necessarily building muscle, building a body, but it's about maintaining your body into older age, right? Yeah. So you can pick up your toddler, you can, get down on the floor, you can take the stairs when you're 70, mm-hmm. things like that, like functional fitness. Is really what most of my clientele is working towards, right?
Yeah. And I think you were such, like I said, during prep, you were such a good example for what you can do, like you said, you had so much stuff to deal with the kids and all the jobs that you have. Yeah. And you were able to make it work. Yeah. And a lot of people just kind of go, they just don't put them. Yeah.
So you can use that as an example for your clients. Right. You can really relate to them and dig into their pain because you've been there.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And it's, I don't, I can just say, okay, well, here's an idea, right? What do you think? And we can sit there and talk about it. Other aspects of my coaching involve just general wellness, right? So that's where I've, kind of started researching the general movement, the flexibility. I'm teaching flexibility classes. I teach core classes.
We need that too.
Teaching people just some basic, simple, 30, 40-minute things that you can do throughout your day just to help with those things as we age and we sit at our desks all day long, Mm-hmm. Teaching group fitness, that's a fun one for me. I never really thought I was a group fitness kind of girl, right? My class is called Booty and Biceps because I've got a big booty and I'm really fond of biceps. Big biceps.
Yeah.
If you've got shoulders and glutes.
I think you learned the bicep stuff from Corey and Dustin for sure.
I think so.
Yeah. So wellness, nutrition. We're working on nutrition, and some virtual coaching, and also sexual health and sexual wellness. Certified in that as well. So
how did you get what does that mean? Certified in sex?
Yeah, so I'm a consultant with Pure Romance, and I have been since 2015. And they actually offered a class, an online academy for us. And you go through all the courses like you would with any other platform, and you get your certification. So I have a certificate.
So you are a certified sex coach.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what was the what was your favorite thing you learned? Like, what did you learn from that course? Like, what surprised you, or what resonated with you the most?
The best thing, best thing, and women everywhere are probably going to give me hate mail for this, but women actually need more orgasms than men.
Fuck yeah, we do.
Yeah, like physically, biologically, scientifically, we need to orgasm more than men.
Why would women hate you for that? Because men can't give us orgasms.
Exactly.
Yep. I do like mixers and couples events. So if we need to educate men a little bit more, we can do that.
Not for me.
Yeah. Oh, you ladies out there.
I think it is important. Like when we think about like what makes like women like fully like health and wellness, it like, I mean, I am not a sex coach, so I deal with like nutrition and training, but there's so much that goes into what makes your body feel good.
Oh yeah.
And I think like your sexual health is very, very important. So like you're obviously with Pure Romance, like what do you teach your clients about sex?
Yeah. So some of the big things that I talk about a lot, lubrication. Lubrication is probably my number one thing that I talk about a lot. And this, yes, Becken
has a question.
Yeah. I heard that women are 80% more likely to have an orgasm if they are lubricated.
Yes. So think about, this is how I always explain it. It's very uncomfortable to put a ring on and off when your fingers are dry, right? And so then you go for the water and that feels fine, whatever. So that's like saliva, right? And then you go for something like a soap, right? Or a lotion, right? Something like that. And then that feels a lot better, right? Think about like the first time you had sex. It's very uncomfortable, right? Because you don't know what you're doing. You're feeling nervous. Your body is like dry, right? From those nerves. Or you've been drinking and you're dry, and that's very uncomfortable. So lubrication is super important for a number of reasons. That, the comfort reason, but also, if you are having improperly lubricated sex, then you are prone to, germs and bacteria and those kind of things in the little micro tears. And, you should never have to pay a copay just to have sex, right? So it's just, it makes everything a lot better. And a lot of the lubes that we have are just water based, so they're not staining, they're not uncomfortable. You don't have to get like a vanilla or a cherry flavored lube. They can be unscented, unflavored, and you can just go about your day, right? So definitely lubrication. And then also I really talk a lot about, I'll call it foreplay, right? But it's like pre-sex, right? The cuddling, the hand holding, the kissing, the sitting next to each other, the simple hair brushing, the forehead kisses, everything like that. And knowing what your partner does or doesn't like in that respect, right? Like kind of knowing the love language of your partner a little bit. That's all like the pre-sex, right? That's the foreplay really throughout the entire day. So you can't, neither male nor female can expect their partner to want to get busy at the end of the day if the rest of the day wasn't the foreplay, right?
Right.
So those would probably be my top two. Yeah.
Like the connection throughout the day. So you really need to like actually like your partner, and you're saying
you should. I
think that's important.
Yeah, you definitely should like the person that you're sleeping with. Yeah.
And good communication, like you said. Like you have to like want and like know what you want.
Know what your partner wants.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stigma around talking about sex, right? And some like girlfriends, right? We can sit here and we can talk about sex, and we can talk about like what our current, previous, or partners have done or said, things that we've liked, right? And behind closed doors, right? But there's so many people out there. I deal with couples all the time, and it's either a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and they're like, I really like this, or I don't like this, and I don't know how to talk to my partner about it, right? But then they'll sit down monthly and they'll go over their budget, right? And those two topics are very sensitive topics, money and sex. And people are more likely to talk about how much money is in their bank account or not in their bank account, their credit scores, but they're not willing to talk about like what they like and don't like in the bedroom. So I really push people to just open up, and you know, by dealing with couples, by working with couples, or at least educating and empowering women, I'm hoping to kind of like bridge that gap a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, as women, I think we just need to, like you said, like be open to that communication, but like know what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And so like what, when you're talking to, you know, your sex clients, like what are some, you know, things that you would suggest for them to kind of like understand what they want and know how to, you know, talk to their partners about it?
Yeah, so I do advocate for masturbation, you know, self-pleasure, knowing what is going on, right? Like some women, because sex is so stigmatized, some women grow up and they don't even know what it looks like, right? They don't know what they've got. They don't know what feels good. It's a fun thing to say, but you know, some women I call table toppers, right? You like go and you like reach up for the glasses and it hits you right good on the pubic bone and you're like, ooh, I like that. Yeah. And so actually, you know, 80+% of females will achieve orgasm with the addition of clitoral stimulation. And so just asking these questions of women, you know, have you had an orgasm? Do you know what feels good for you? And if you've not, then let's explore some self-pleasure. So you can do that digitally. You can use something like a bedroom accessory.
That's called acoustically.
Okay, I told you guys this was going to be a fun episode.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, most of our products are pleasure-based products. So you know, when you're at an in-home party, I'll have a table full of them and be able to pass them around so you can kind of feel them and things. Yeah. Oh, up here, above the belt,
above the belt,
and we stay in the same room. I do an inventory.
Well, I do think it's. I think like growing up, I was very sheltered, you know, and it wasn't a like open communication of like, you know, doing these things. So it's like I really like, as much as you may be like shy, like, oh, like I would never go to a pure romance party or reach out to, you know, Danielle to talk about this. I think it's like you kind of have to.
Oh yeah. I you know, myself, this career path was absolutely perfect for me. And I didn't really know why.
She's passionate about sex
until I got like deeper into it. I was the last of my friends to lose my virginity. You know, I didn't really explore anything. We didn't have those conversations when I was growing up. And frankly, you know, a lot of my friends, I was just like, oh my God, you're so weird, you know, like, you're grossing me out, right? And I'll never, ever forget the very first time I got invited to a pure romance party. I think I was probably around 30. And I got invited and I was like, not going to that. Will not be there. RSVP, no, decline, lose my number. And the girl pushed and pushed and pushed. And I said, fine. So I brought a friend that I thought would have a lot of fun. And I ended up having so much fun because I do have this personality and I want other people to feel comfortable, especially when I feel uncomfortable. So then I just found like, I'll just make a joke about it, you know? And then other people feel good. And so other people are having fun talking about a very sensitive topic. So then I told the woman who was consulting the party, I said, I really feel like I could do this. I feel like because of where I came from and how I felt coming in here, I'm not the only girl. Mm-hmm. I'm not the only girl that's going to be nervous and want to turn around and RSVP no. So how do I connect with those other people that feel that same way, right? And I've not, but I've not had a girl leave my party and say like, I hated it.
you're just like you're a very comfortable person. And like when I first got to Old School Gym, when I moved to Ohio, like they didn't like, it's not like warning me, but they were like, yo, Danielle, she's the sex girl. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I don't know about that. But you're just such a, comfortable person to be around, and you have good communication that I think you automatically make people feel more comfortable about this.
Yeah. Oh, good. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That makes me feel good.
So what are some like top products from Pure Romance that you would suggest for us?
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm super glad you asked because I actually brought some.
Good. If you're not watching on YouTube, you should switch over to YouTube because this is a show and tell time. If you're only listening on
I gotta go get my
if you're only listening on the podcast, well, you're just gonna have to imagine what's going on.
Just imagine.
Close your eyes.
And if you have small children in the room, maybe put your earbuds in.
Yeah, this is not a PG. It's never a PG podcast. But
yeah.
Okay. Even more so now.
So sure, yeah. I just have a lap full of vibrators here in a plethora of colors. So it's super fun. So this one actually is probably, this is one, it's been around, it's changed color a couple of times, but the core functionalities have remained the same. So again, most of us need clitoral stimulation to achieve an orgasm. So this one is going to do that for you. If you are watching, here's your labia and here's your clitoris. And I have my girls do this.
She's not naked. It's her hand.
It's her hand.
I was just going to leave that for imagination for the people that weren't watching, So anyway, so this bad boy turns on and you're just going to stimulate clitorally here. I like this. It's ergonomically designed so that it fits really nicely in your hand, right? The head bends and flexes, so it moves with your body. It has 30 functionalities.
Okay, but really, do people use all the functionalities?
Okay, I'll tell you, it's really fun to like test them, right? Because again, you don't know what you don't know, right? Sometimes, especially when you're in a partnership with someone, then you try different positions or you try different things, things like that. But it's really hard to sometimes figure out exactly what you like, right? You don't really have that much time. So this guy, you can just go through a couple of the different functions, feel it for a few seconds and decide if that's something that you like. And then again, a lot of these things, for the people that are in steady relationships, these are not things that are going to replace partners, right? Most of them enhance your partners. So this one can be added during penetration to stimulate clitorally. You can also turn it around if you are a tabletopper and you like a more direct, harder stimulant. You can do this. The whole thing vibrates. Huh. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like the way that it looks.
It's so cute. It's kind of spermy a little. It's kind of,
like sperm.
You can insert these as well. They can be. That's the great part,
That's the best part.
Yeah. Something like this is a great one too. Again, you can use this with couples. So if you're not somebody who wants direct clitoral stimulation, you can go around the clitoris this way, or you can get some direct stimulation. But again, your partner can be penetrating from underneath. So a lot of these are really great. Clitoral, this one's got some suction in it, super fun. And then this bad boy, I always tell my single girls, get this toy. It's under $100, and if and when you do have a heterosexual partner and you're having penile penetration, this guy can go right on to the shaft, and then you're getting the clitoral stimulation as well, right? So while you're by yourself, while you're by yourself, this is a great handle. I'm about to
write Danielle a big check right now.
Yeah, great handle to use on the clitoris, nipple stimulation, things like that. You can also use it for perineal stimulation, things like that, right?
What's a perennial?
Perennial is a type of like a flower, a blooming, right? Isn't that like when flowers bloom? Perennial.
It's like a type of.
I thought you meant anus.
If I meant anus, I would have just said anus.
What the fuck does perennial stimulation mean?
That's the area between the vaginal opening and the anal opening.
The taint.
There we go.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. And then this one.
We're learning so many things.
This one, Tom.
I think is it like a requirement to like name your sex toys?
I've heard that a lot of women name their sex toys, and this one I just call Tom because its real name is Triple Orgasm Machine.
That's like what I think of when you think of like a sex toy.
Yeah, this is the ultimate dual action vibrator.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah. I know. Oh. So dual action because it's got your penetration and your clitoral stimulation, but it's triple because it's got all these different features, but I actually call it a quadruple. It's got 2 rows of rotating beads that are going to stimulate inside. It's got a thrusting motion, and the head swivels a bit while it's inside, and you have the clitoral rabbit ears here. So it's really like, all encompassing, this guy right here. You don't have a Tom.
That's a big one.
So where, like when you shove that thing inside you,
well,
where do those end up? Like
maybe not shove.
Like right here, like there's space here.
So you're in here like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And now everybody's going to be a little bit different.
That up?
Oh yes. You would always want to lubricate your toys before insertion. Yeah. And everybody's going to be a little bit different, right? So that's why there's so many different types of clitoral, vaginal, dual action, anal toys, all of those different items for you, because not everybody's going to want the same thing, right? We three may like the same toy, but it might not be our favorite, right? We could all three like different things. And we're all going to have we've got variable sizing, right? So this one may go only a few inches, which the first 1 to 2 inches of the vaginal opening are nerve rich. So that's where all this bad boy comes in play. Gotcha. With the rotating beads and the swiveling head. So yeah.
Dude, this is it's like pure show and tell.
Yeah. I'm really passionate about it. I really like it.
No pun intended. Okay, so why are orgasms so beneficial for us?
Okay, so when you orgasm,
I know.
right.
This is health and wellness for Champagne Gainz.
So you've got the increased blood flow, right? More oxygen getting into the bloodstream. You're going to have healthier skin, a better glow, right? You've heard so many times when people are in new relationships and people are like, oh my God, you just look so happy. Like you have this healthy glow about you. And it's all about the endorphins and all of those different hormones that are going on in your body, and all of the health benefits that come with extra oxygen and just happiness, right?
How many calories do you burn?
I actually have a chart somewhere on my computer that kind of breaks it down, by averages. So you have this type of sex and you burn this many calories, this type of sex, this many calories.
This is the document. This is the document that we need.
Yeah. We'll share that out. For sure. That's a fun one.
What else? So besides the toys with Pure Romance, what else do you sell?
So we have obviously we have like the lubrications, and those are going to vary from water-based to cream-based. Some are going to have some stimulation in there as well. We've got some enhancement creams and gels. So those are going to be used. You can use them on the penis or on the clitoris. And basically that's going to stimulate blood flow. So what I tell people is that they're enhancements, right? These are just additions. Similar to like in the wellness world, in the nutrition world, we take vitamin D, we take, the fat burners, and we take the pre-workouts and things like that. So these are those things that are like your pre-workout for your sex, right? As women, we need more stimulation before we're ready for sex, right? So this can come in really handy, applying a little bit of the enhancement cream right to the clitoris. It's going to stimulate blood flow and tingling, right? And then that's going to stimulate some lubrication, some natural lubrication, which if you're using the water base, then will stimulate that, and then you'll be properly lubricated. We also have lingerie, right? I always recommend to my female clients, you have a piece that makes you feel good, right? You get out of the shower, you're freshly shaven, you put this piece on and you feel like super hot, right? And it almost like kind of gets you a little tingly, right? And then you have your piece for your partner. So regardless of the sex of your partner, everybody likes something fun to look at, right? That's why we put makeup on. That's why we, buy clothes and work on our bodies, right? So, having a piece that you like and having a piece that your partner likes are really fun. And then we also have a lot of really mild products. So one of our most popular is our shaving conditioner. Everybody swears by it, but it actually conditions the hair follicles so that it's easier to shave and you're not getting like that tugging and pulling. This is really great for the bikini region, underarm region. I'll tell you, when I was in bikini prep right before show and you told me I couldn't use any products to shave, I almost my head almost exploded because I couldn't imagine shaving my legs without.
Danielle needs her products.
So shower gels, shaving conditioners, male and female variety. Our shaving conditioner, especially for men with the razor burn on the necks and stuff, it's phenomenal. Really, really high quality products.
So if you had to pick, say, like your top, 3 or 5 items that someone should buy if they're first ever getting into pure romance, and obviously buy through Danielle, what would you suggest and where would they find that for you?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. Just for both of us.
Casually.
We just need to know.
Casually for a friend. So obviously, the first thing that I would always say is any of our beauty products, right? So my go-to always when I'm traveling, there are things that I always have. The first is the shower gel. I travel with a shower gel. It's pH balanced, so it's really great for our skin. And it's not going to throw anything off. Second would probably be the shaving conditioner. Again, my head almost exploded. I need to have the shaving conditioner. I also really like the firming cream. The active ingredient is caffeine, so it wakes the skin up from the outside in, and it just tightens and tones the skin. My very first client that tried that was actually my brother when he was in bodybuilding, because he went from, I don't know men's weights very well, but he was very, very heavy in high school, lost a ton of weight to get into this show, and had loose skin, right? So my very first client that ever used it was him to tighten and tone the skin. So that one would definitely be up there. We also have a heart massager. It's like a heating pad, basically. Love, love, love this. Everybody across the board needs a heating pad at some point, right? So it's great for migraines. It's great for in the bedroom, outside the bedroom. My kids use it when they have aches and pains. It's just really versatile.
Different ones than the ones that you would use.
Yeah. Water-based lubrication is always top on my list. And then, whatever vibe floats your boat. You always need a vibe. So be it, a clitoral vibe. And again, self-exploration is really where it's at. When you find something, a sensation that you like, when you're pleasuring yourself or even with your partner, then that's the vibe that you probably want to go with.
10-4.
Interesting. So if
I get it.
Yeah. So if
door knocker one.
Yeah. So if people who are listening, where would they find you if they have any questions or want to have a party or buy things from you, or obviously have questions about what they should get for what they need? Where is a good place to reach you at?
So probably the best place is just going to be my Instagram. It's PR_Coach D. And, send me a DM there and, I can answer any questions or, get you to the website, send you the link for the website. That's like a long drawn out thing. But that's probably the best way. PR_Coach D for Danielle. And then we can go from there. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll put that all in the description. We probably won't put all the details of what she said, but we'll add her links. If you have a special link to the Pure Romance website, we'll put that down below in all the description boxes. And please don't hesitate to
hesitate.
Don't hesitate to reach out to Danielle for all of your sexual wellness.
Don't reach out to us.
Don't reach out to me and Becca. We are not your sex coaches. Danielle is the sex coach. And yeah, she's going to make you feel good from the inside out.
Good, look good.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So yeah, don't reach out to me. But if you have any questions about, or if you just want to like me introduce you to Danielle, you can reach me.
I don't bite hard.
You can reach me at @keekerslaugh_IFBB Pro.
And if you need to get in touch with me, to get in touch with her, to get in touch with Danielle,
it's a train.
I'm just kidding. You can find me on Instagram at @Beckin_Bikini.
All right. Well, thank you, Danielle. This was
the best.
This was the best. Ever. This is the best episode that we've done.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I popped your cherry.
Yes.
We are gonna go open more.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Dude, that's great. I'm gonna get you all the gold.